world in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, to the Irwindale Speedway, sunny California, playing host to round number 3 for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series, presented by the Upstate Racing League. Tonight, it is going to be the Doctor's Noise Custom Paint and Diecast 100 right here from sunny California. You see the drivers out on track right now, getting in their last-ditch efforts of practice here tonight before we go main racing. 100 laps here tonight around this very tricky track, which tonight may be a high line track, but there's a lot of racing room out there. My name is Roger Muth, race fans, and alongside me, though, it's Kelly Dahl. And Kelly, welcome to sunny California. We're on the West Coast this week, a little closer to home for you.
Yeah, just a little further south, but definitely a lot more west than we normally run in this series. And like you said, we're here at the Irwindale Speedway at the half-mile outer oval here this week. And this is a track that's always brought us a lot of action here, as you can go, as you see some of these guys go all the way down to the grass through the apron to make this corner work. And you see a lot of guys diving down there and making these sliders work. And even some guys start running the high line later on. So I'm sure we're going to have a lot of action here tonight. Action
is what it is all about here with the Upstate Racing League. And let's take a quick look here and see if we can take a quick gander at that points championship coming into the night. This is the Arts Barbershop Championship standings after 2 weeks of racing here with the Pro Series. We got Guillaume Fortin right now at the top of the boards with 284 points. Second place, it's the rookie of Robbie Keneally, 282 points. So just a 2-point deficit for that rookie sitting there. And how about the man sitting third? Well, he's been a past champion. He knows how to get it done. Justin Fuller. Well, there's a developing story, though. He may be sitting third in the championship points, but he is not here tonight at the Irwindale Speedway. Joe Schaefer Jr., as though he's fourth coming in. Matthew Barkhouse is sitting there fifth. Trey Edson, Justin McDuff, Bill Martin. Mike Alexander, last season's champion, is ninth here after 2 rounds. And how about Al Smith Jr. inside the top 10? A lot of good guys inside the top 10 coming into the night, Kelly, but there's also a lot of good guys that are sitting well outside that top 10. And remember, it's still all about points this season.
Yeah, all about points. There will be no chase. However, there is 2 drop weeks in hand. So Justin Fuller is going to have to use one of those drop weeks tonight, as he is not here. So that's going to really might factor in later on in the season. If he has a bad race, that's going to take away his other drop week, and he's going to have to be perfect from then on out. So having to use one of those drop weeks on the no-show is definitely going to be an issue for Fuller.
And he's had a couple good races here to start the season, but we're getting ready to see who will win tonight's Dr. Noise Custom and Paint Diecast here 100 at the Irwindale Speedway. If you're looking for a custom diecast race fan, Dr. Noise Custom Paints and Diecast, well, they are the supplier of the URL custom diecast that the champion gets every season for winning the championship. So we're looking forward to seeing that at the end of the season, whose car will be painted up. But another thing we're getting ready to do is, well, introduce you to the starting lineup here tonight at the Irwindale Speedway. Let's head down trackside to get that starting lineup here for all of you race fans. This is your starting lineup here, brought to us by Best Colorful Creations. Starting on the front row, virtue of the 14-car invert from last week's finishing positions, it's the driver of the 2B. This is the Bartell Builders, Brett Bartell, starting P1. To his outside, it's the driver in the 11 Illinois, the Huntley, Illinois driver, the Empire Racing Team's Carbon Junction Narrative Coffee, number 11 Illinois, of Brian Hacker. Starting P3, the driver out of Vermont, driving the car number 73 here tonight, the rookie of Vernon Woodard. Al Smith Jr., the coach's corner. The stand, RC Raceway, number 96, the Smith Racing Inc. entry of Al Smith Jr. Starting in the 5th position, the Rev Racing. Well, he's last season's champion. It's car number 75 of Mike Alexander. Starting back at P6, the driver of the Empire Racing Team, number 20. Wegmans Cerebral Palsy Foundation. It's the 20 of Justin McDuff. Back in 7th, it's the number 39. It's the man out of the GSM Racing, number 39, Bill Martin. Trey Etzen, the driver out of the Aftermath Motorsports, number 56, will go from the 8th spot. How about Joe Schaefer Jr., that Epic Media, number 6, will roll off from 9th. Rounding out the top 10, it's the driver of the car, number 15, Matthew Barkhouse. He will start in the 10th position.
Rolling off in P11, it's our top rookie of the season so far. That's the 001 of Robbie Keneally. Lining up to his outside, the Superior Performance Motorsports machine, number 13 of Guillaume Fortin. Rolling off in P number 13, we've got the 24 of Steph Marinac in the Empire Racing Team entry. Rex Hoyle will be rolling off in 14th in his number 54 machine. Jeremy Carpenter starts in 15th of the Carpenter eSport number 1 car. And to his outside, Chris Stump in another one of those Empire Racing Team machines in the 98 car. Justin Smith, the other Smith entry from the Smith Racing Inc., will be rolling off in P17 with Mike Holtzclaw on his outside in the 22. Matt Eddy will be rolling off in 19th in the 88 GSM Racing machine with Jimmy McIntyre Jr. rolling off P20 to his outside.
Starting back into the 21st position, it's the Racing School, number 14, Rookie of the Year candidate, Rodney Hontoon. Starting in 22nd, it'll be the driver of the number 81. This is Xander, driving car number 81. Back into the 23rd position here tonight, the driver out of Topton, Pennsylvania, the Turn 3 Racing Posse, number 31B of Donald Bennett. And starting 24th, Brian Rogers Jr. Lightning McQueen, driving car number 12, will go 24th. 25th, Matt McLean out of Michigan. The Mad Racing entry will go 25th. Josh Mayu, the driver out of New York. He will go 26th. 27th, Ellie Musgrave in car number 23. Scott Austin back here from Illinois in car number 5. And Colin Phillips, the Nasty Gnarl Racing, number 53. Colin Phillips will go shotgun to the field. That's your 29-car starting lineup as we get ready to come into the Hanson restart zone. Of course, the Hanson Starter Shop located in upstate New York with 30-plus years of experience building starters, alternators, generators. They are our green flag sponsor here tonight as they work off turn number 4. Turn them loose here tonight, race fans. 100 laps in the Doctor's Noise Custom Paint and Diecast 100 is officially green as they come out of 4.
A little bit of wheel spin from that 2 machine of Brett Bartels, and that allows Hacker to get a better start, but the inside line is going to be dominant. Hacker getting way down low, and that causes the field to check up on the bottom side. Look at the 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr. diving to that bottom side. 3, almost 4 wide throughout the field. We've got 2 rows of 3 wide here battling for this, and we got a car spinning.
1 car around is the 54 NC of Rex Hoyle in the Colony Tire and Service Center. Number 54, Rex Hoyle, has gone around on the front straightaway. He'll collect a couple of them as 1 lap did get completed. Brett Bartels was the race leader when they came across the timing and scoring stripe down here. But boy, the Halloween machine of the number 4 of Rodney Hontoon is around. It looks like Chris Stump was involved. Rex Hoyle was involved. We'll have to see who the other cars that were all involved in this one. Jimmy McIntyre, Scott Austin, Rex Hoyle definitely involved. We'll see who else was down there. And let's take the quick look back here on this replay. Let's see if we can go zoom out just a little bit there. You see the 54 of Hoyle. Oh, he gets up in the loose stuff. Chris Stump right there. Holtzclaw, McIntyre. How about Justin Smith? Nowhere to go. The track just washes everybody right down to the bottom side of the speedway. Nowhere these drivers can go as these tire pressures were still very low down in 4.
Yeah, I think the worst out of that was the 98 machine of Chris Stump. He actually got beached on those jersey barriers on the inside of the race field and had to get a little bit of help from that 24 machine to get a little nudge off of there, but that still is going to end up putting him a lap down as he had to wait the entire lap for the 24 to get back around to help him out.
So a little bit of a shaky start here for a couple of these drivers. They will be down on pit road. A couple of them, it looks like Chris Stump was down on pit road. Rex Hoyle was down on pit road right now. And it looks like Brian Rogers Jr. is going to bring Lightning McQueen down to pit road. So Lightning McQueen will see if he can get some of that rusties on that car and see if they can get back out onto the speedway. Looks like Jimmy McIntyre, the Best Colorful Creations, number 81, is also down, and Justin Smith's coming down. Here comes Rodney Hontoon, Chris Stump. All the damaged cars here early on in lap number 1 is not where these drivers wanted to be here tonight. You see them all pitted down on the infield. But there's your race leader, the driver of the 2B entry out of Spirit Lake, Indiana. It is going to be the 2B of Bartel. So he did get the pole award here tonight, virtue of the 14-car invert that we did have here tonight. We had it last week also. And that's where he got the pole from here tonight. He did lead lap number 1. Right behind him is the 11 Illinois Brian Hacker. Al Smith Jr. is sitting there back in 3rd. Justin McDuff and Vernon Woodard right now rounds out the top 5. We did get one official lap green flag racing here tonight before the caution flag did fly, but it is very hard on tire pressures when you come to tracks like this where it's a high line groove raceway. And, of course, you're trying to get everything you can get because the tires are still fresh. They're just cold. They're low on the tire pressure, and the car just doesn't quite stick the way you would want it to. And just that's what caused that wreck down there. We might see that again here once we go back green flag racing.
There's also a lot of power in these race cars, all just attached to your right foot, and that's the only thing that's keeping you on that track is how much of that right foot you're using. And we've seen already that if someone just gets a little too hard on the throttle, especially if they're too far up on the racetrack out of the groove and into the marbles, they can easily spin those tires and send that car spinning. And with how bunched up everyone was at that start, that is not the way you want to start the race.
So we're coming back this time, though, in single file formation. Race control saying we need to log some laps, so we're coming back single file to be Bartels in the 2B entry, leading us back into the Hanson starter shop restart zone. Green flag back into the air, and Bartels is going to leave the field. Brian Hacker sleeping on the restart. Bartels will lead them by about 4 car lengths by the time they get to turn 1. 1 car up the raceway. I believe that is the Trey Edson machine. He will look to the outside of the 73 of Vernon Woodard as they work to 3.
See a couple of those guys like the 73 getting all the way down to the grass, and that is going to work for Vernon Woodard. However, look at the speed that Trey Edson's going to carry along that high side. Like you were mentioning earlier, this track has a very dominant high line with its progressive banking, and Trey Edson is using it to its fullest right now.
He'll work to the outside. There comes the 75 of Alexander in that R&R entry. A couple drivers down to the bottom side. That was the 6th of Joe Schaefer in the Epic Media, number 6. Bill Martin was also down there. There is the 13 of Guillaume Fortin. He's working the outside of the speedway. What a great run last week for the driver of that 13 machine, finishing on the podium in only race number 2. And he's right there. 3 wide. Here comes, sideways is the Epic Media number 6. Schaefer down to the inside, going to spin the 13 of Guillaume Fortin around, and the caution flag will come out. 10 laps in the record book here tonight as the second caution flag of the evening flies.
Bill Martin is well going to get collected in that, and Roger, I think we're going to have to put that one on you. That might be a little bit of the commentator's curse playing in for Guillaume Fortin.
Well, I'll take the slap on the back of the head for that one. You don't talk about the driver that had a good run when he's having a good run again. Of course, Guillaume right there now. You see him at the back of the track, at the back of the field here in that Racing Designs number 13. We will take the look back here in just a couple of seconds. Joe Schaefer did take car number 6 directly to pit road, so he is sitting down there on pit road right now. We'll see if he can get back out onto the raceway, and I think he took that straight back to the hauler. So we'll take a look here. Take a look from high wide and look as they're 3 wide. Epic Media number 6, there you see it. The 6 car got a little bit of a bobble, and right into the 13 he went. There's the Dr. Noise, number 13 also. The 39 of Bill Martin. He was also involved. Well, Martin went down to the bottom. He made it 3 wide. He went right down to the grass. He did not make contact with the 6 of Schaefer. Schaefer just got loose, and when the car kind of bit, it went right up into Guillaume, and Guillaume came right down the track into the 39, and that's what's going to bring the caution flag out here tonight. Just a simple, harmless crash, but the tire pressure's still pretty low.
I wouldn't say it was entirely harmless, as Joe Schaefer Jr. took a hard shot to that left front, and I think that's what caused him to park it for the night. Is he came down pit road and just found that car would not turn, and really just decided to cut his losses and call it a night. So already just a couple laps in, and we have got 2 drivers park it in the garage.
2 drivers, call that 3 drivers actually. Joe Schaefer Jr., Justin Smith, and Chris Stump have all taken their machines behind the wall here tonight. So a very rough start for some of these drivers as our second caution flag comes out. It is still Bartels out front here tonight with Brian Hacker, Al Smith Jr., Justin McDuff, Trey Edson now inside the top 5 here in the Dr. Noise Custom Paints and Diecast 100. Race fans, we got to thank you for tuning in here tonight. Well, because the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series is on. What does that mean? Well, that means everybody here tonight is going to get a piece of cake supplied to them from Best Colorful Creations. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm hungry for cake, though, Kelly. I want some cake pops.
Well, I think everyone would be provided a slice of cake, provided that they go to the banquet at the end of the season. So, I mean, I don't think you're entirely wrong there.
You have a very good point. That's something we are all looking forward to coming up at the end of the season of the Asphalt program here, the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series and the Bartell Builders Big Block Series. Of course, you can find that all right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network on Sundays when Kelly gets behind the wheel. One of those big blocks, of course, you're off this week because of the Halloween, hot little bit of a holiday. Everybody going to spend some time with their families. But talking about families, the Hanson Starter Shop Restart Zone coming. Bartels, Hacker, Smith, and McDuff, your front four drivers.
Bartell's getting off to another great start as we get the Hanson Starter Shop green flag once more. Al Smith Jr. trying to make him pass for second place as he gets to the inside of Brian Hacker. However, Hacker's going to use that banking to his advantage. Now here comes Edson to try to make it 3 wide with Al Smith Jr. and the 20 of Justin McDuff. And we got another car with it getting turned around. That's the 15.
So the 15 of Matthew Barthouse is around in the Xander side, number 15 entry. A very rough start here in sunny California as the third caution flag will fly here on lap number, I believe that is number 17 when the caution flag was displayed here tonight. Josh Mayu in the K2B Motorsports entry also down there. He's going to have some damage on that 02 entry. Rodney Hondoon looks like he was involved. Bill Martin again possibly involved here in this one. And let's take the look. Let's take a gander at what happens to the 15. That R&R Kinsman Auto Salvage right into the back of the 75 of Alexander. Alexander saves it, but Steph Marinac into the back of the 15 as the big checkup. Oh, look at Musgrave. Nowhere to go for Ellie. And car number 23, she was involved also.
Yeah, just a bit of a chain reaction for the accordion effect as the 75 slowed up to make the corner, while the 15 of Barkos was just a little close, gave the 75 a tag, and he was able to save it. Then he got a little bit of the favor repaid by the 24 machine, just giving him a light tap and unfortunately sending that 15 around and collecting a number of other cars.
Take a ride on board here with the Dr. Noise onboard camera with Bill Martin in car number 39. This is his point of view coming down into this one. Look at the 15 down the track and right back up the speedway he came, and Bill Martin with heavy left front damage on car number 39. He did take that to pit road also.
Now, these drivers do have a set of tires in the pits if they so need them, but at this point, those guys that are coming down for repairs might as well just take the repairs, leave the tires, as they haven't spent too much time under green. However, those that did get spun and maybe kind of burned off those tires a little bit while they had them locked up, maybe it could be advantageous for them to slap on that extra set of tires.
You never know what's going to happen here with these drivers. Everybody here at the Upstate Racing League likes to play a little bit of a different strategy. And as we talk about strategy, well, you got to talk about drivers that are in that Rookie of the Year championship battle. Of course, that Racing Designs Rookie of the Year championship battle, well, there you see the driver of that 1K entry, Robbie Keneally, the rookie coming in. He has had himself a whale of a start. Of course, his first race of the season ended up finishing inside the top 3 and then had another great top 10 finish last week. And right now, knock on some wood because I'm not getting slapped in the back of the head by Kelly here once again. And, you know, Robbie Keneally right now in the 7th position. He is the Racing Designs Rookie of the Year championship leader coming into the Irwindale Speedway. Will he have that championship, though, when we leave sunny California? Because, well, we leave sunny California at the end of this race, and we do head on over in 2 weeks' time to the Bull Ring at Las Vegas. That's going to be a great one. I mean, the name of the track fits the description of the track, and we're really going to see the men from the boys once next week comes, but it looks like we're getting ready to come back into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone.
Pace car is going to pull off the track, leave the field in the hands of Brett Bartels once again. Bartels has been leading this field ever since the initial drop of the green flag. Now entering the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone, and he's going to launch off of the corner. Once again, green flags in the air, and we are back to racing at Irwindale.
Back to racing, and one driver goes straight to the bottom side of the speedway. That was the 1K of Robbie Keneally. He's trying to get around the other rookie of Vernon Woodard. They're the only 2 rookies inside the top 10 right now. Keneally right back down to the bottom, down in 3, almost touching the grass. They're really painting that yellow line, trying to slide up in the 73 of Vernon Woodard. Woodard's used the slide jobs as he runs 500 micro sprints in the Vermont area. And now Keneally has a chance, an opportunity. He will not take it. He will not go up in front of the 73. He'll go back down to the bottom as Woodard runs the top side.
And looks like that 24 of Steph Marinak trying to follow the 1K through and try to get past the 73 of Woodard on that bottom side. Back towards the front, though, Brian Hacker has been holding off Al Smith Jr. in these last few laps. Smith has been looking for every single way around Hacker's. Hacker's been losing ground to Bartels, and we've now got 3 wide almost between the 20, the 56, and the 1K. Now the 1K is going to get up in front of Woodard.
And that was the 1K to the bottom at the time. Now he slides up. There's Trey Edson. He was in the middle. They put the Stay Salty number 20 of Justin McDuff to the outside. Now it's the 1K right back down to the bottom side of the speedway. Keneally is making the inside work like nobody else's business here tonight. Nobody else has been able to make up as much ground as the 1K. Now Keneally is battling to try and go inside the top 5 as Trey Edson works the outside of the speedway. You see car 56. Look at Keneally. That time got a great run and just had to check up, crack the throttle on exit. That allowed Justin McDuff to get right back around in the number 20.
Yeah, Keneally got all the way down there. Almost looked like he kind of hooked his left side tires there on the lip between the grass and the pavement, and that may have helped to make that turn. Almost a bit of a gutter turn for that 1K machine, and it has been working out. He's starting to pull ahead of Trey Edson, but there is nowhere for him to slot in on that preferred high line.
See if he slides up this time. Oh, a little sideways contact. Keneally going to go around down here. He's sliding sideways. He catches the 1K entry, and boy, he stays right there. Now he'll have a chance, though, to get to the top side of the speedway if he wanted to in front of the 73 of Vernon Woodard. He will not take the opportunity to go high. Now he'll have the chance. Woodard with a run.
Woodard with a run is going to prevent that 1K from getting into that high line, and now we got the 24 of Marinak once again following him down there. He's going to try to get up in front, and the 1K is going to be able to get up in front, but the 24 of Marinak, unfortunately, going to have to slot in between the 73 and the 75.
Yeah, that Friday the 13th entry, the number 24, Steph Marinak, is looking pretty strong here tonight for the Empire race team. The 1K of Keneally, though, right back down to the bottom. Look at Xander. Here comes the 81 machine. He is looking to try and advance his position. He's up 12 spots since the drop of the green flag here tonight. He is running 10th and looking for more. That is the 75 of Mike Alexander, who is out in front of him right now. The R&R Kinsman Auto Salvage, number 75 of Alexander. And Keneally, though, still inside the top 10. He's the only driver back down to the bottom side here.
Keneally is trying absolutely everything to try to make up any sort of ground. He's still trying to go after
Crash back there. It looks like the 81 of Jimmy McIntyre has gone around. He's got damage to the Best Colorful Creations nose of that car 81. Who is the other car that was involved? I missed, I believe, maybe Mike's Holtzclaw in car number 22 has also gone around there. You see very, very heavy damage to the 22 of Holtzclaw's front nose piece of that Ford Mustang. It is all crinkled in. The right side of that car is also scraped and beatered and banged up. We'll take a look back here, as it does look like Holtzclaw was involved in this. There you see car number 22. He works the outside. Oh, he looks like he got a little tight in and got a little help from car number 53 of Colin Phillip, and nowhere to go for the 81 of Jimmy McIntyre. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time as car number 22 washed right up the speedway. Let's take a look here. Ride on board of the Best Colorful Creations onboard camera. There you see the contact from the 53 to the 22, and nowhere for the Best Colorful Creations entry to go.
Well, Irwindale Speedway is known as the House of Drift, or the United States capital of drifting, and these guys are kind of showing us a little bit of a sample of that, but I think we want to try to keep these cars pointed a bit more straight throughout the night.
Well, that's a good point. We did talk about that in the pre-race and joke about drifting here at the Irwindale Speedway, because when the drift cars come here, they put on some really good shows. Of course, when the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series comes here, they try and mimic it a little bit and drift. We just saw that happen. We also, I believe, was that the one of Robbie Keneally just a little bit ago. He went down to the bottom side and he decided to drift. He made it look pretty cool, and I'm going to have to give him the Drift King Award so far here tonight, as we're under the caution flag on lap number 34 when the caution flag came out here. So working our third caution flag of the evening. It is still Brett Bartels. How about it? He is out front. He's a driver that we always see on the dirt side of things do very well, but because of the starting advantage here with the invert from, well, he finished 14th last week. He got the pole here tonight. He's been able to lead every lap as we close in on the halfway point.
Yeah, it has been a very strong showing so far from Brett Bartels, but we still haven't reached the halfway point in this race just yet, so we still can't quite talk about his finishing position, but he's definitely been setting himself up. However, now he's going to be starting to the inside of the 11, so if that 11 of Hacker can get a good start, prevent Bartels from sliding up in front of him, Hacker might be able to use that banking to his advantage, maybe get a run down the back straight.
Remember, though, that 2B can fire off first here as we are past the initial start of this race. So they'll come back here to the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone. The 2B of Brett Bartels will have the advantage here to fire when he feels like he is ready. Now to turn 4, the Hanson Starter Shop green flag is back in the air to the 2B. Another great start. This time he's going to leave Al Smith to the inside, and Smith doesn't go down to the grass. He's going to get a little tight, actually. Now here comes Edson. Can Edson get to the inside to make it 3 wide down to turn number 3? Edson to go a little bit lower than the 96 of Smith. It will put Smith in the middle with McDuff to the outside.
A little bit of contact between the 96 and the 56 causes Edson to back out, but we are going to be able to keep everything pointed in the right direction. The 73 had to throw on the binders. Vernon Woodard really had to check up for that 56, and now we've got a few guys that are trapped to the inside, and after the last few tracks we've been at, it's almost weird to say that they're trapped on the inside and wanting to be on the outside.
Everybody trying to really work themselves to the outside because we're 41 laps of racing in the books here tonight. Who is that 5 car working to the outside that is hanging it all out? Well, that's the Austin Designs. Number 5 of Scott Austin making his start here in sunny California with the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series, and there he is, up 15 positions right now. There's only one driver. Oh, and there's trouble. Trouble down the back straightaway.
Big trouble for a large number of cars. We have a spin on the back straightaway, and I think that was Al Smith Jr. that got sent around.
Yeah, that was the Stan RC Speedway Coach's Corner Best Colorful Creations, number 96 of Al Smith Jr., who was inside the top 5. Remember, he was one of those drivers 3 wide racing on that restart there, and that will bring out our 5th caution, actually, if my tally marks are correct here. So we'll take a look here in just a couple of moments as our truck gets that one pulled up here. Let's take the look. Trey Edson and Xander made contact, and then Smith got spun down to the inside. There you see Smith pulling away in car number 96. Take another look at it. There you see the contact from Edson, and then when Smith checked up, Carpenter and Scott Austin didn't quite get checked up in time into the back of the 96. They went, and around goes Al Smith Jr., so that is what actually will bring out the caution flag here. See, Smith actually was into Edson, which caused that whole thing to start on the back straightaway out of turn number 2. A lot of room here in Irwindale, but that one, a couple drivers going for the same spot.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to call on that one, and I am glad that they're not going to be calling on me to make the decision post-race, because it's really tough to call. I mean, I was just kind of all drivers fighting for that high line and fighting for all their space they can get on the banking. As I mentioned earlier, it is progressive banking. It is more banked at the top of the racetrack than it is on the bottom, so you really want to be kind of to the outside of that dashed line to really get the best speed off of the corners.
Aerial coverage here tonight at the Irwindale Speedway brought to us by Brian Rogers Motorsports. Brian Rogers Motorsports, a longtime competitor here with the Upstate Racing League and always bringing fun and exciting paint jobs to the racetrack. Well, tonight, where is Brian Rogers Jr.? Let's see if we can get our blimp just a bit. There it is. That is actually not the number 12. There is the number 12 as our trusty Al Smith up there controlling the blimp camera here tonight. There you see the Rusty's Lightning McQueen, number 12. There, Brian Rogers back into the 20th spot after starting at 24th here this evening. So Lightning McQueen has a lot of ka-chowing to do his way through the field. We'll take a look and keep up with Brian Rogers and the whole crew here as the night develops. But we are going to reassemble these cars 2x2 here tonight. The official flagman here tonight at the Irwindale Speedway has given us that one to go. Double them up. It'll be Bartels starting back down to the inside with Hacker to the outside. It'll be Justin Smith, Robbie Keneally now in position number 4.
Keneally's finally got himself up to that outside line. We'll have to see what he's going to be able to do from there as we re-enter the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone. Brett Bartels gets on the loud pedal, and he launches up ahead of that 11 of Brian Hacker. The field spreads out behind him as we go into turn number 1. Look at the 24 of Marinac. He's going to try to look to the middle as McDuff goes down to the bottom of the racetrack, but he can't quite get the grip on the middle. Now Keneally going to be on the outside as the 11 of Brian Hacker dives to the bottom to try to go for the race lead.
Hacker trying to make it work here. 2 dirt drivers out of the Midwest, and well, not going to quite happen that time for the Carbon Junction number 11 Illinois. Now here comes Robbie Keneally. Keneally is on the attack. He is hungry like a wolf. This rookie is racing more like a veteran here on the iRacing.com platform tonight. Hacker goes a little bit lower than Keneally. Keneally going to try and throttle it up, and back to the outside he goes down in turn number 1. It will be Keneally nosing ahead. Hacker going to get a little loose. He will fall back into third.
Heard a little bit of crunching metal behind them, but I don't see any caution just yet. Looks like Colin Phillip has dropped way off of the field, but doesn't seem to be the cause of any caution. We are going to stay green now. Robbie Keneally looking to hunt down Brett Bartels, and he is closing that gap. The 1K getting closer and closer to the 2B.
Yeah, as we ride on board here with Robbie Keneally. Keneally really back into the throttle hard that time off the corner. He'll be right on the bumper of Bartels at the start-finish line. Halfway home in this one, though, and it has been Bartels who has led every lap here tonight. But the rookie is there. He is officially on the back bumper. He'll go to the bottom side of the speedway. Can he get the momentum? Can he hold the bottom side down to 3 and 4 to lead a lap? He will not. Bartels fights back.
Bartels using that banking to his advantage, getting a good run off of turn 4, kept Keneally from being able to slide up in front of him. Keneally, is he going to try it again? No, he is going to stay up high and kind of build that momentum for another couple laps, because he's got to be careful. If he tries to make that move and it kills all of his momentum, that 11 of Brian Hacker is immediately going to be there to fill the gap, as we see again. Keneally going to the bottom and Hacker trying to get himself up there as Brett Bartels fends him off, and now Keneally going all the way to the bottom.
Big dive bomb down to the inside here for the 1K. Can he have it? No, he won't. Bartels once again at the line, leading his 55th lap of the evening. Keneally still under pressure from Brian Hacker. Oh, a little tight situation there for Robbie Keneally. Keneally tried to then thread the needle in between positions 1 and 3, but not going to have it happen. Now Hacker has the fender on the 1K. Hacker will muscle his way through the outside, and he'll go back to the top side. Keneally going to run, well, maybe we call that a middle groove for Keneally, because he didn't quite go down to the grass that time.
And here he is going to go all the way down to the turns 3 and 4, hooks the grass just a little bit. Is he going to be able to get up in front of the 11? No, he's not. Hacker getting a good run off of turn 4. He's going to hang on to that position, but the 1K still isn't going anywhere. This battle for second is really heating up. Now the 11 is going to get clear of the 1K, and the 1K of Keneally going to have to call it quits for now and slot into third.
And talking about slotting into a position, how about the 88 of Matt Eddy, the driver out of Sanford, Michigan, the Eddy Performance Solutions. Howie Racing Joe's Transport number 88 has now picked up his 14th position. Well, you think that's impressive, Ray Sands? There's another driver that has picked up a handful of spots here tonight. How about the Best Colorful Creations number 88? Matt McLean has picked up 18 spots since the drop for the green flag. He's running inside the top 10 now. He is running 7th with that Misfit Motorsports Best Colorful Creations 88.
Yeah, he started all the way in the back of the field in 25th, and we've seen all the chaos that has happened throughout the field. He's managed to be able to work his way around all of that. Is now looking at the front of the field. Brian Hacker's going to take a look to the inside of Brett Bartels, who turns 1 and 2. Hacker trying to go for the race lead down the back straightaway. Bartels going to get a little bit ahead. Now the 11 going to go all the way down to the grass, as we've seen many times before. Is he going to be able to get up in front of the 2? No, he will not. Bartels hangs on to lead another lap.
That was probably the closest we've seen anybody challenge for the race lead out of turn number 4. It just has not worked. Turns 1 and 2 looks like it's able to hold strong, but now here comes Hacker. He actually slides the right rear tire of car number 11 Illinois as he goes down to the bottom side. Will he have it? He will not. The Bartels entry is very strong out front here tonight. They can't get around him, but he's going to leave the top lane open. Here comes Keneally.
Keneally's got a good run, but he's got nowhere to go with it as he gets right up to the bumper of that 2B machine. Now that 11 of a Hacker going all the way to the bottom. He's going to be followed by Marinac and Xander. And the 1K of Keneally just doing his best to close the gap behind the 2 car and not allow that 11 of Illinois of Brian Hacker to get back up into the groove. Now that's going to allow Keneally to get ahead and get clear of the 11. However, Hacker is still not going to give up trying to get that position. Instead of slotting in front of the 20, he's going to try to go once again to the bottom. Now he's going to have to admit defeat and slot in to the high line before McDuff can take that spot away.
Yeah, teammate Justin McDuff going to allow the 11 Illinois Brian Hacker to slide in there. Here comes the number 24, Steph Marinac. He'll go to the bottom side of the speedway. He'll try to pick up that spot on the 88. He's got one, he's got two, he is tight, and now he's loose off four, sliding the tires of the Friday the 13th machine, and battle for the race lead again. Look at Robbie Keneally. Everybody's having to go to the bottom to try and make their passes here tonight at Irwindale, as Brett Bartels is just leading the way and saying, I am putting this car on the outside. If you're going to get around me, you're definitely going to the bottom. And Keneally says, challenge accepted. I'll go down low.
This is almost starting to look more like a dirt race, as we've got the high line dominant and everyone trying to use slide jobs to make the pass. And it's making a fantastic race so far, as we see almost three wide with Gareth Gonder, Mike Alexander, and the 188 of Matt McLean. As it looks like Gonder is going to be the loser of that three-way battle, though the 75 of Alexander still not giving up, trying to get around that 88 Betts calibration machine of Matt McLean.
Sideways for the 13 QC there, Guillaume Fortin. He was sideways. Remember, he was wrapped up in an early caution flag here tonight, and he has driven this Porsche, I believe, back up inside the top 15. He's now back to running in the 11th spot, one spot from where he started here tonight. He has passed more cars than possibly Matt McLean, that is for sure, because he is now trying to get around car number 73 of Vernon Woodard. Woodard is back here running in the 10th spot. The rookie that said, I'm not good with these cars, and these guys are very outside my competition level, has stuck it out, and now he is running inside the top 10. He's looking for more as Gonder left. Oh, it's going to be Woodard into the outside wall. That's going to allow Guillaume to really close the gap. They're really close this time, all four.
Nobody is daring to make a move out of that high line. Now Guillaume going to try to open up a little bit of a spot. The 73 ducked down just a little bit and gave Guillaume Fortin just that opportunity to take away the high line. That forced Vernon Woodard to start using that bottom side, and it is not working out for him, as both Guillaume Fortin and Trey Edson are going to take away spots.
Yeah, Edson, another one of those cars that was in that early caution flag with Guillaume and had to go all the way to the back, and they are really working themselves back inside of the top 10. Look at Guillaume. He's really going to open up the hole there with that Porsche's nose. He wants to get the Racing Designs number 13 QC back up a little bit closer to the front, as he is still working the outside. Gonder down below. Gonder isn't going to the bottom side. He is kind of holding it towards the top, just giving one car length, as now he goes to the bottom. But, man, it was really making it a challenge there for Ford.
Steph Marinac also trying to work.
Contact, the 13 of the 81 going to make heavy contact into the opening at the end of the front straightaway. There you see the 13 of Guillaume sitting stopped, just dead stopped as they hit the barrier there, that safer barrier, of course, there to protect the drivers from that wall, that opening there at the end of the front straightaway. Both drivers heavy contact, and both drivers will have to get towed back to pit road here tonight at Irwindale. That is going to bring out the 6th caution flag here on lap number 75 tonight on the Dr. Noise Custom Graphics and Diecast 100. Wow, that was a very hard hit. I hope all drivers are okay. Even though we are sim racing here, we know the G-forces and everything from the wheel snapping at the drivers. Let's take a look back at Guillaume Fortin's crash here. There you see the 81 of Gonder down below him. You see the 13 staying up high. Gondor's going to drift high a little bit, leaving just a lane. And right there, both cars going to come together and very hard contact on the pass, or on both driver sides of those cars. Of course, head on there for the 13 of Guillaume Fortin to that wall. Both drivers, I'm going to say, Kelly, at that point, with how hard that impact was at the end of the front straightaway, both drivers will be out of this race.
Yeah, and Gareth Gonder took a even harder hit after hitting the wall, as the 54 of Rex Hoyle had the 23 basically acting as a screen as they came down the front straightaway, and then as the 23 turned early into the corner, suddenly he sees the 81 machine just bouncing around off of that corner and just tags him going at a really high rate of speed. He was almost full tilt still, and just sent that 81 machine flying.
Yeah, let's ride on board the Best Colorful Creations onboard camera with the tuxedos by Ted's entry, and wow, right through Gondor's machine there, and that's just that's one that you're not going to be able to come back from after that hard of a hit. That's pretty much going to kill that car here tonight. So hopefully both drivers are going to be all right. What I can tell you right now, though, is we will go racing with under 25 laps to go. It'll be the 2B of Brett Bartels, the 1K of Robbie Keneally, the 11 Illinois of Brian Hacker, and the number 20 of Justin McDuff right now. And wow, great racing there in the middle stages of this one.
Yeah, there's been some fantastic racing throughout that green flag run, and now Robbie Keneally's probably in his best position as he's been all night, as he's going to start to the outside of Brett Bartels, and this might be, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's the first time someone other than Brian Hacker will be starting to Bartels' outside, as Hacker as well has been having himself a fantastic race. Started up in second place and has only dropped back to third at most.
So he'll restart to the inside of his teammate, actually, of Justin McDuff, and McDuff has actually given Hacker quite a few breaks here tonight, and letting that 11 Illinois Brian Hacker back up in line. We'll see if now, since it's going to be under 20 laps to go, has Justin McDuff just been saving his stuff, letting Brian Hacker have that position here tonight, because, well, the Doctor's Noise Custom Paint and Diecast 100 is in the closing quarter here tonight as the iRacing.com pace car will make the left-hand turn and head to the safety of pit road as we will come back into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone. Brett Bartels is the race leader. He has the choice to fire when he's ready.
And he's going to get on the throttle and get a good jump. He's going to not quite get clear of the one. Robbie Keneally is going to be able to hang on to that outside line as they go 3 wide, just a few rows behind them with the 80, 88, 56, and 75 up in the corner. But we have to keep our eyes on the race lead, battle for the race lead, because Robbie Keneally has got the preferred line. He's going to get a good run off of turn 4 and give the lead to the 1K.
So a new leader here tonight with 20 laps to go. The rookie, Robbie Keneally, will take the race lead, bumping Bartels back to P number 2. Look at Justin McDuff. He is now the car that is sitting third. The Stay Salty entry, and, well, he's got new numbers on the car. I'm sure he'd like to go park it in victory lane here tonight. 3 wide, 4 wide back here. Trey Edson was to the inside, and he was absolutely leaning on the 88 of Matthew Eddy. They had Matt McLean and Vernon Woodard stuck to the outside. Now more contact for the 88 to the 73 and sideways for Trey Edson. Look at Vernon Woodard. The dirt racer is up top here, ripping it, trying to pick off some positions in the late going. Bill Martin back there, and Martin, where did he come from? He has spent most of this race down on pit road, on and off pit road to try and get that 39 repaired. Look at Ellie Musgrave, the rookie, the driver, the youngster out of Washington. The Narrative Coffee number 23, and with its beaten and bagged nose, is up 13 spots, running in the 14th position.
And now she's got herself in a good position on that high line, as there's still 3 wide and numerous spots around here as the 15 and the 81 are battling for position. Bill Martin still not giving up on that inside. He's trying to get himself all the way to the bottom and get in front of a few of these guys that are having to check up. Now let's see Al Smith Jr. trying to hold off that 39 machine while also trying to fight with the one of Jeremy Carpenter.
Yeah, Carpenter with a brand new Oldsmobile paint scheme here this week. A little bit of that neon colors on the one Carpenter entry. There you see Carpenter running into the 12th position. It'll be 14 laps to go next time we come back around the line for that man right there. It's the 1K. Robbie Keneally has belt checked out to a half a second race lead. This is the largest race lead we have seen all night over Bartels and Justin McDuff. Has 14 laps to go. We'll go on the board. One driver down to the bottom side. That's Matthew Eddy. He's got the 39 right behind him. Sideways for Eddy.
Matt Eddy going to manage to hold on to it, though. We have another car crashing. I believe that might be Matthew Barkhouse that brought out the yellow.
So the 7th caution flag will fly here tonight in the Doctor's Noise Custom Paint and Diecast 100 as the R&R Kinsman Auto Salvage number 15 has gone around, and he's had a little bit of a rough one tonight for Barkhouse here. He might have to use that drop week that we talked about early on that Justin Fuller is going to use here tonight. Of course, Matthew might want to join him in that little bit of excursion of let's just forget coming to California. Let's take the look here. Oh, just sideways off the corner. Goes to try and correct it, and it's, well, we call it the drift capital of the world here at Irwindale, and that's exactly what happened. Just one car, a little bit sideways, and then R&R Kinsman Xander signs entry, and that's what will bring out the caution flag. Just a solo car sliding down to the inside.
Now, I'll agree with you, drift capital of the USA, but the world, I don't know. I don't know if you can take that away from really anywhere in Japan, especially a place like Ebisu.
Well, you're not wrong. Okay, maybe we're going with the United States, but what about Australia? Those guys are crazy down there. They're putting 1,400 horsepower to a street tire and just go out for a drive, they call it, spinning tires at 120 sideways.
Yeah, but have you seen Ebisu and those guys flying sideways over the jump? But hopefully, speaking of Ebisu, I'm really hoping they can get that place fixed up after they unfortunately had a landslide damage the track heavily. But
yeah, we never like to see any tracks, no matter where they're at, get damaged by Mother Nature. Of course, it is all part of how it works nowadays, and they're getting fixed and they're getting things back going, just like we will here tonight. Because, well, we're going to be under that 10 to go marker when we go back racing. Keneally, Bartels, McDuff, Hacker, Marinac, your top 5. How about Mike Alexander back here? He has battled all night with that R&R Kinsman. He has not been inside the top 5 yet tonight, but do not blink. The champions are champions, and they will find themselves to the front one way or another. Matt McLean's back there in 7th, still picking up his 18 positions and looking for more. Trey Edson has battled back into the top 10. Vernon Woodard is 9th, and Bill Martin is in the 10th position. So that's your top 10 as we gear up. I believe we're going to go around at least one more time before we get going racing, race fans. But are you in the market? Are you an iRacer? Do you have a custom paint that you would like done? Well, our friends over at Dr. Noise Custom Paint and Diecast have you covered. They are officially the Upstate Racing League supplier of diecast. So head on over to the Dr. Noise Facebook page and contact them today. They have high-end replica diecast. You send them your iRacing file, and they will put it on any car, whether it's a K&N car, whether it's one of these super late models, whether it's a cup car. They have them all, and they can get them to your doorstep. Contact Dr. Noise today as we get ready to come back into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone.
yeah, pace car going to dive to the safety of pit road, and for first time tonight, control of the field will not be in the hands of the 2B. It'll be in the 1K of Robbie Keneally, getting into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone. And the 1K is going to get off and running, and the 20 of Justin McDuff was right on his rear bumper. Now he's going to get tagged by the 24. We got 2 cars sideways, a bit of a tandem drift, but somehow we are going to stay green.
3, 4, 5 wide at one point, and oh boy, the 39 of Martin still getting pinballed around. Look at the 56 Edson to the outside there. 3 wide by 3 wide by 3 wide here at Irwindale.
Bit of bumping and banging too as that 88 machine gets tagged by the 75. The 75 getting up to the top side. We are 4 wide down the back straightaway with 2 88 cars, the 39 and the 75.
Man, find a hole, and these drivers are going to stick it here tonight. Oh, Martin tried to thread the needle between Vernon Woodard and the 56 of Edson. Edson going to slide up and lean on the 75. 4 wide, and they are jammed up and jelly tight. 1 car into the wall.
That's Trey Edson going up and over, and he will bring out yet another caution as there's another gigantic wreck here in Irwindale.
And Edson up on his lid. He will have to take the quick tow to pit road here at the Irwindale Speedway. So drifting not working out for the 56 of Trey Edson here tonight. Rex Hoyle involved, Jimmy McIntyre, Al Smith Jr., Rex Hoyle, a lot of drivers here. Let's take the look and let's start to dissect this one here. Let's just, right there, the 75. Mike Alexander was to the outside, and Carpenter into the 96 of Al Smith Jr. There is Ellie Musgrave. She is involved also. She is able to carry on, though, but, man, Trey Edson's night is going to wind up down on pit road with a ton of damage.
Yeah, I think that might be the end for Trey Edson, but that last section, or last green flag run, I mean, I don't know how we lasted that long before a caution came out, because we're in the closing stages of this race. Everyone's trying to get any position they can, and we were 3, 4, even 5 wide at a few points, and we had cars all sorts of out of shape when we saw the 20 and the 11 of McDuff and Hacker getting tagged and both going sideways, side by side. It really did look like we were at a Formula Drift event.
Well, there you see another over-the-top camera here presented by Brian Rogers Motorsports, and man, just a hard lick down there for Trey Edson, and his crew will get that car bandaged up and ready to go for, well, they have a couple weeks off to get that one ready to go, that's for sure. But, man, this late race caution really is going to shake things up, because what's going to happen now is we're going to have a little bit of a shootout here to get things done at Irwindale. One chance at a green-white checker attempt, because this will take us into overtime. I do believe here, if I'm reading it, completing lap number 97 here. The lights still out, are still on the pace car. This will be an overtime shootout.
Yet the word just came out. This is the final caution that they'll try for a green-white checkered finish. So they're going to get one shot at this. The next flag we see will end it. We'll either get the yellow flag, which will end it right there, or we will get a white flag and they will race to the finish. So if you thought that last restart was chaotic, you haven't seen anything yet, because these drivers are going to be going for broke. And like you said, if they see a gap, they're going to go for it.
So what you're saying is we've seen 5 wide. We're bound to see 6 wide here.
It's possible these cars will fit. This is a very wide track, but not all of this racing surface is really that usable, as the lights are going to go out on the pace car for one final time, and we are going to get ready to go green one last time here at Irwindale.
So we're coming back into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone here tonight for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series presented by the Upstate Racing League. The Doctor's Noise Custom Paint and Graphics 100 coming to an official close here. It'll be green, white, and checkered as they come back into the Hanson Starter Shop restart zone. Bartel's trying to time it. Keneally says no, no, no. Now we go. 2 laps to go. Robbie Keneally is out front.
And Bartel's going to get tagged by the 20. He tried to get down in front of that 20 machine. That's going to send him sideways. He saves it, going to get into the 39 just a little bit. Here comes Bill Martin going to charge up throughout the field. And we've got 3, 4 wide, almost trying to get 5 as the 75 gets into the wall, and he's going to go up and over. We've got the white flag for Robbie Keneally presented by Carpenters Tax Service, so we are going to finish this race.
So it'll be down the back straightaway for the final time. Robbie Keneally, Justin McDuff, and where did Steph Marinac come from? The Friday the 13th entry is 3rd, but it will be Robbie Keneally, the rookie, winning here in sunny California. Justin McDuff, Steph Marinac, Brian Hacker, Bill Martin coming across the line in the 5th position here tonight. 6th is going to be Vernon Woodard. Matt Eddy is going to be 7th with Bartels back into the 8th position. 9th will go to Jeremy Carpenter. Matt McLean in the 10th spot. Boy, what an exciting finish. I don't know. I believe our truck says they do have the white flag here. Let's see, possibly, I believe. We're going to wait. The truck says we're going to wait and give this moment to Robbie Keneally down on the racetrack, as he is going to do the donuts here tonight, as he is the winner of the Dr. Noise Custom Paint and Diecast 100. They said they do have the last lap wreck here, so we will go back and watch that before we go to our post-race interviews here with the top 3, as Keneally is going to burn them down here in California. Let's take the look. Let's throw it. They say they're going to throw it right into slow-mo for you race fans. Take a look right back here. You see the 15 down to the inside. Where is this all going to start? There's the 39 and the 73. I hear they make the little bit of contact, and that's what's going to start to trigger everybody behind them. Let's take the look as, there's the 75. He gets jacked up, and he's going to go up into the outside wall. Mike Alexander, that is in car number 75. He goes up and over in the Happy Halloween number 75, and where does everybody start to catch? There's the 31 of Bennett. He's going to go down the speedway. He'll catch Rex Hoyle. They go off into the corner with some contact and smoke everywhere. So a little bit of a crazy one for Mike Alexander at the end of this one. There you see the 56 also, or actually that's the 53, excuse me. Colin Phillip went up and over with Scott Austin. There you see the 4 of Hontoon also getting involved. So a lot of cars here on the final lap of this one. Will not finish this one, but Robbie Keneally finishes ahead of all.
And we saw another car get into that barricade or kind of attenuator at the end of turn, or at the beginning of turn 1, end of the front straightaway, as the 12 of Brian Rogers Jr. kind of got sent out there with nowhere to go, tagged that wall, and ended up even further along in the access road, and luckily didn't go too far and kind of get reset. So he was able to get himself back onto the track and was still managed to finish this race in 20th.
Well, race fans, we're going to take a little bit of a break here. We're going to step away from the microphones. We're going to go down and talk to Robbie Keneally and the whole gang down there, as Robbie Keneally, Justin McDuff, and Steph Marinac here tonight are your top 3 podium finishers in the Dr. Noise Custom Paints and Diecast 100 here for the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with our post-race interviews.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back here to sunny California, race fans, as the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series just invaded the Irwindale Speedway tonight for the Dr. Noise Custom Paint and Diecast 100. And boy, if we could get Dr. Noise himself to make a couple diecasts of these cars here tonight, we'd be missing a couple fenders, but we are ready for our Best Colorful Creations post-race interviews here. As Kelly Dahl, I believe you are standing down trackside with our winner, the rookie. That's the 1K of Robbie Keneally.
Yeah, caught up now with the 1K of Robbie Keneally. Robbie, congratulations on your very first win here in the Upstate Racing League.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, what a race. It was it's pretty interesting there. It was definitely a really hard track to pass here, but, you know, that's what makes Irwindale Speedway pretty fun. You know, the championship contenders and them real fast guys got caught up early, so, you know, I think we had to take advantage of it and gain all the points we could, and we definitely did that here tonight.
And you said it was very difficult to pass. However, you were one of our biggest movers tonight. Not the biggest mover, but you did gain 10 positions, and it seemed to always come from the bottom of the racetrack. What were you doing down there that was getting you around these guys?
I've raced at this track a lot. You know, it's a home track for me in iRacing here in California. I've raced here a lot, and not a lot of people know how to run the bottom. It's the only really way you can make passes here, and I feel like that's what you had to do. You know, if you knew how to run the bottom, you could just slowly inch your way past everyone.
Well, I believe this will put you into the points lead. I haven't taken a look at the post-race points just yet, but judging by just how we came into this, you are going to get the lead, and then a couple weeks from now, we are going to be going to the bull ring. How do you feel about your point standings going into this next race?
If the bull ring's next week, ironically, I'll be missing that one because I'll actually be doing.
We got a few weeks off. We got until November 18th.
Oh well, sweet. Next weekend I'll actually be making a Pro Late model start at the bull ring, in real life. You know, and hopefully we could take some stuff from there and have a good race at the bull ring virtual.
Well, sounds very good there, Robbie, and you may not be familiar with our process just yet, but I think judging by how the season's gone for you, we will be familiar with this process very soon. So who do you wish to thank for this race win tonight?
I just want to thank everyone behind the scenes, you guys and all the Upstate Racing League admins and all of them for putting it on. I want to thank Wiley X Sunglasses, Reaper Speed Lab, Pull Down Motorsports, and Aiden Kaiser for making me this real-life paint scheme.
All right, thank you very much for coming and talking to us, Robbie, and congrats on your win tonight. Good luck to you both in the real bull ring and the virtual bull ring in a few weeks.
Yep, thank you.
That's driver of the 1K, Robbie Keneally, your winner of the Dr. Noise Custom Graphics 100. And now I believe we're going to be sending it down to Roger, who's going to be caught up with our second place finisher.
Yeah, he's a little salty here tonight after finishing in the second position. But Justin, after a rough week in the big block modifieds on Sunday night, you travel out here to sunny California and you rip off a good one. You sat there fourth for a very long portion of this race. Were you saving the tires on the 20 machine?
Yeah, I was. I knew I couldn't really run the bottom like some of those guys could. So I kind of just went with the method of just trying to ride, and I had the track position early by the way the handicap kind of shook out. So I just tried to get in a spot and ride for a little bit, and then just kind of rode there for a bit once Robbie got up there, and they kind of were starting to throw sliders on each other or attempting to on the bottom, and I just made the most of it, I guess. I really don't think I had a second place speed tonight, but I'll take it for sure.
When you look at the big picture of things and how the season has started on the dirt side of things and here with the asphalt side of things, what's the positives you can take away here going into our break that we will have 2 weeks off on both series?
Well, it's been interesting because I feel like I've been more competitive and faster on the dirt side, but I don't have the finishes. On the asphalt side, I have 2 top 3 finishes, and I definitely didn't deserve them. So I guess it's one of those things. That's just the way it works out sometimes. But like last week on the dirt was super disappointing. Ran up front and then got into a jingle, and it ultimately ended up ruining my night. But if I can kind of find a happy medium between the two of them, that'd be great. That's kind of what I'm aiming for. But I'm obviously very happy with 2 great races to start the season here on the asphalt side.
So a good run here tonight at the Irwindale Speedway. 2 weeks off. What are you going to do with yourself for 2 weeks? You're going to miss me?
I am actually going to Cancun next week, so I don't think I'm going to miss anybody. No offense. I am looking forward to sitting on the beach all day and drinking a lot of alcohol, so it's perfect.
Well, I hope you get the tan, well, we'll just say tan, and come back here recharged and ready to go. By the way, when you go to the beach, don't forget to stay salty, but, you know, the microphone's yours, my friend.
Well, thank you. Well, first, I got to give a shout out to Al, as always. He does a great job with the league. It's always a pleasure to race, and I mean, we still have 30 guys here, so that's pretty cool. And thanks to you guys for all you do. You guys do a great job with the broadcast. Always a pleasure to have an opportunity to speak with you. I got to thank my teammates at Empire Racing Team, Steph, Brian, and Chris. AJ and Andy weren't here tonight, but great run for 3 of us tonight. I know Chris had some bad luck, so hopefully he can get that turned around soon. And I got to give a shout out to Element, so a new sponsor on the car this year. It's going to keep me hydrated when I'm in Cancun on those hot days when I'm drinking all day. And then, of course, got to thank the Cerebral Palsy Foundation as well.
There you hear it, ladies and gentlemen. The driver of the number 20 out of Hudson Falls, New York, the youngster, picking up another podium here in the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series. Justin McDuff, race fans, finishes Pete number 2. And, well, one of the drivers out there that finished 3rd, Kelly, you got him? You got him wound up down there?
Yeah, caught up now with the driver of the 24 machine, Steph Marinac. Steph, it's been a while, but welcome back to the Best Colorful Creation post-race show.
Well, thanks, Kelly. I didn't expect to be up here tonight. I really didn't have any business being up in the top 3 tonight, but a lot of really good cars crashed out, and we had a ton of restarts tonight, which really helped with being able to pass cars, because it's really hard to with this car under green. But we just took advantage of the spots that we were in and made my way up to the front over the course of the race.
Yeah, it did seem to take the course of the race, because we didn't really see you up into the front till the end. You kind of caught us a bit by surprise, but just like Robbie Keneally, you are one of our biggest movers with 10 spots. And how did you really make these passes work throughout the course of the race?
Well, I mean, I got some damage early in the race. My teammate, Chris Stump, was stuck on the pit wall, and I ran by and slammed him off of it. And I had a ton of left run damage, and so I was kind of pushing off the corner. So if we had to run, more than 2 or 3 laps, I was kind of just stuck where I was. But luckily, a lot of the guys that were just ahead of me, were getting together, crashing, and getting loose on the restarts and stuff. And I just held a constant line, and I was using the bottom a little bit in 3 and 4, which was helping a little bit. And just occasionally 1 or 2 spots every restart. Eventually got up there.
Well, that is going to be a huge boost for you in points tonight, as you got yourself a nice 142 here to bring you up, I believe, up into 5th. So going into the next little bit of the season, how are you feeling about your point standings so far?
I'm feeling okay. I mean, there's a lot of competition this year, so I don't really know where I'm going to end up, but just like in this race, I didn't practice or anything. I'm just here to kind of have fun this year. I don't really have any expectations, and we'll see where we end up at the end of the season.
All right, Steph, congrats once again for making your way up into 3rd place. But before we let you go, we're going to give you the microphone. Who do you wish to thank for your run tonight?
Yeah, I just got to thank my teammates at Empire Racing Team. It was a lot of fun racing with them tonight. Thank you guys for doing the broadcast, and thank you to Al and everyone else at the league for putting it on for another year.
All right, Steph, thank you so much for coming out and talking to us, and hopefully in a few weeks' time out at the bull ring, we'll hear from you again.
All right, thanks, Kelly.
That's driver of the number 24, our 3rd place finisher here tonight, Steph Marinac. Roger, going to send it back to you for some final thoughts.
Well, that's your post-race interviews here tonight, presented by Best Colorful Creations. Robbie Keneally, the winner after 100 laps here at the Irwindale Speedway. He picked up 10 spots to pick up the win. Justin McDuff moved up 4 spots. He finished in that 2nd spot. Steph Marinac with 10 spots also gained. Take a quick look here at the rest of our results tonight as they all came across the line. Everything unofficial here tonight other than your top 3 finishers. They have cleared the scales and cleared tech. See a lot of the Empire Racing Team drivers inside the top 5. Bill Martin really battled back from a night that could have been very terrible for him in the points championship. We talked about him possibly wanting to use a drop here tonight. He will not. He will finish 5th. Vernon Woodard held his own inside the top 10 all night long. Matt Eddy will finish there into the 7th position, picking up 12 spots. Brett Bartels, he's going to look at this one and maybe kick himself, maybe feel like a little bit of a, well, let this one slip out of his hands, but he will finish with a top 10 here. He finishes in the 8th position. Jeremy Carpenter rallies back with his Oldsmobile to finish 9th, and the biggest mover and shaker of the race picks up 15 spots. You see him finishing in that 10th spot. The rest of the field there, take a look to see where your favorite drivers are going to finish here tonight at the Irwindale Speedway. These drivers will have a chance after great racing here at the Irwindale Speedway to really catch their breath and maybe sit down with the family and relax for just a couple of weeks as, well, we have off here. Halloween, of course, this week, and then I'm actually away, Kelly. I'm going to go watch some dirt racing with some of these guys down in North Carolina at the Charlotte Dirt Track. Maybe get a little insider information for our trip coming up here in the Bartell Builders Big Block Series, because we're headed to Charlotte here in just a couple of weeks. But, man, great race here tonight. 2 weeks off, Kelly, and then we go back racing.
Well, if you could pass along some of those tips you may hear from Charlotte, I would greatly appreciate it, because I personally am terrible at the Charlotte dirt track. But yeah, it's been some fantastic racing here at Irwindale. We did have a lot of cautions, but I think part of that is because this track is so wide, you kind of are invited to make those moves, but really you've only got one or a couple lanes that can really work, as we saw all these guys trying to work that high line, and then you see if every so often someone will just dive down to the bottom, as like Robbie Keneally did, getting all the way to the grass. And then towards the end of the race, we saw just 3, 4, 5 wide as everyone was just trying to get any sort of position that they could. And things got a little bit shaken up. I got to make another mention to Bill Martin. That was another guy that he was caught up in a number of wrecks early on, and I kind of thought he was going to be done for the night, but somehow he managed to rally all the way back up into 5th. So some great driving from that 39 machine.
Well, I also got to make a mention, Kelly, that Al Smith Jr. just tweeted at me, and he said he's going to talk to his friend Stuart Friesen and see if he can get some tips for you when we do head to Charlotte, because Stuart's going to be racing down there in just a couple of weeks. But race fans, we got to thank you for tuning in here tonight to the virtual Irwindale Speedway on the Turn 3 Racing Network. It was the Doctor's Noise Custom Paints and Diecast 100 right here from the Irwindale Speedway, the Best Colorful Creations Pro Series, presented by the Upstate Racing League. We got to thank all the sponsors that make this possible. Brian Rogers Motorsports, of course, coming on board, a longtime sponsor. Longtime sponsor along with them, of course, Arts Barbershop and Dr. Noise Custom Graphics and Diecast. R&R Kinsman Auto Salvage coming on board this season alongside the Xander Sign Group. Of course, Best Colorful Creations, the official cake provider for the Upstate Racing League. You want to get to taste a little bit of that Best Colorful Creations? Well, the Upstate Banquet is getting planned, and race fans, those details and that information will be out here in the next couple of weeks. We also got to thank the Hanson Starter Shop for over 30 years of business in the Upstate Racing area, rebuilding and repairing alternators, generators, starters, anything you need. They carry it new, or they can rebuild yours. And of course, the Schoony's Country Market. Kelly and I are going to head down the road here and get a sandwich from the full service and deli, offering subs and sandwiches, and man, they even got pizza. So race fans, with that being said, my name is Roger Muth. That is Kelly Dahl, and we thank you tonight for joining us here at the virtual Irwindale Speedway. Till we catch you next time, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we will see you at the races.